Hey guys, you probably heard about adjustable rear sets. They're a pretty common upgrade for a lot of bikes, but why would you get them? So a lot of lower model bikes and naked bikes, they come with just a fixed position for where the rear sets go. So they're made for an average height rider. So if you're way too tall or way too short, your foot position might not be ideal. The other big reason, especially for naked bikes, and you'll know this right away if you go to track. So most naked bikes, their rear sets, they come fairly low, closer to the ground. That's just because that's how they're comfortable. And for the street, I definitely want that. But the moment you start tracking them, you realize pretty quickly that you start dragging the bottom of the rear set and your boot pretty easily, even like when you're not going at as high of a lean angle as you want, and that's never good. So this is an MTO7 and I'm 5'7", and for me, even before I can start dragging my knee, I noticed that that the bottom of the rear set and my boot start dragging, and that's not good. You want to gauge your lean with your knee, not with your boot and rear set. So that's the big reason why I'm choosing to upgrade my rear set. So when you're looking to upgrade, you got a couple options. A lot of people recommend Woodcraft. They're an excellent product, and you can basically interchange any of the parts if you break any of them. At the same time, they're $450, which is quite a bit of money. I guess it depends. It is a worthwhile upgrade for a lot of people. The other option is you can go on the cheaper side and go with one of those no-name brand rear sets. A lot of people do fine on the track with them, but I was a bit wary of them, especially because I don't want to crash the bike in one go and then have to replace the entire rear set assembly just because I went with a cheaper brand. So what I ended up doing is making some riser plates. So I basically noticed that the main thing I wanted was just for my rear sets to be a bit higher. So I went with 25 millimeters. That ended up being the lower or somewhere in the middle option for the Woodcraft. So the Woodcraft, I think the lower setting is 22 and the higher setting is 38. So I went with 28 over here. And if I really want to, I can end up drilling one more hole, maybe a little bit below or behind, depending on how much adjustability I need. But as you can see, there isn't that much room to work with over here. And what these do is they basically go in the stock hole, and they basically push your rear set clearance up by however amount you want, up or back. So I'll quickly go over how I installed these on this video. Overall, would I recommend these? Well, it really depends on how much you value your time versus money. These do save you a lot of money, especially over buying a set of quality rear sets. But at the same time, these were a lot of work to make. If you don't have a drill press or like an angle grinder, I would straight up say it's not worth it, because drilling through steel or aluminum is not easy at all. I broke a lot of drill bits trying to get this done, and it took me way more time than it's probably worth. And at the same time, they can also rust. If you mess up your measurements just a little bit, you might have to start off with a new plate. In terms of materials, the plates themselves were not that expensive. I needed to get a couple of extra set of screws to get them threaded, put in. I also needed some specialty drill bits and tapping set. And as for installation, guys, anytime you install parts that are gonna be in your bike and that want to be pretty firmly attached, always remember to use Loctite and torque them to spec. That's really important. You don't want this to vibrate and fall off on you, and that's even so more so important for a cheaper set of rear sets, because for a lot of them, the only complaint you'll hear from people is that some bolts just vibrate and fall off. This is the final look of the adjusted rear sets. You can see where the old screw is versus where the new one is. It's not that much of a difference. It's about 25 millimeters, but for things like this where you adjust heights, it's better to be on the safer side instead of making a huge deviation. You don't need that much extra height to get the lean that you want. So hoping this will do it, and if not, I have a little bit more room to drill farther if needed. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.